Welcome back to
Oh, here we are in the final one. And wouldn't you know it, she's run into the police a third time. So we're going to watch this one as well.
Welcome back to another episode of Dreading. Or if this is your first time here, welcome. Today we're going to be revisiting a frequent guest on our channel, Shakira Flabbergasted. You heard me. A link will be left in the description box down below to our previous coverage of Miss Flabbergasted. But for those of you who understandably do not want to rewatch past coverage, let us surmise Shakira's time on Dreading. Shakira, of course not her real name, is a woman who has reportedly gotten into trouble with the police, completely on her own accord. She will seemingly go out of her way to cause chaos in her own life, and will respond to any slight provocation with extreme anger and aggression. The first time we reviewed the police body cam footage of Shakira, she had gotten into a verbal argument with her boyfriend, and decided to call the police on him. Because she was so hysterical over the phone, the police immediately dispatched to her residence, believing it was a serious domestic issue. However, she would later admit that she wanted to scare her boyfriend using law enforcement. She felt like she was losing the fight based on legitimate merit, so she chose the nuclear option. Obviously, the misuse of 911 is dangerous, and her actions directly resulted in her boyfriend being tased by the police after he tried to defend her honor. And although the footage itself is quite humorous, it should be noted that her actions could have led to serious injury to her partner or herself. It's not hyperbolic to say that she could have gotten her boyfriend killed.
She does indeed have a baby.
But it would seem as though Shakira never thought about that reality. Based solely on what we've observed, she doesn't seem to think through any of her actions long term. She's not overly concerned with the consequence. She does what she wants when she wants, and what she thinks will best fit in the moment, even though it's obviously absurd. Put yourself in her shoes for a moment, and ask yourself what you would have done if you had obviously abused emergency services and the police came to your home, knowing what you did was wrong, and
I probably would have screamed and told them I had to go to work. And then repeated that 50 more times. To which my boyfriend would come out of the apartment with his fists up and he would get tased. To which I would be upset because the police tased my boyfriend for no reason, obviously. Yeah, that's probably what I would do.
Wanting to avoid any real consequences for your actions, you would probably either apologize profusely, try to claim that you overreacted but genuinely thought you were in danger, or lie about what occurred in the first place until it became obvious that the lies wouldn't help the situation. Whatever you choose, you would try to endear yourself to the responding officers, as to not make them biased against you. You would want to make a good impression, especially because you would be asking them directly to overlook what you had just done. And based on the response we received from members of law enforcement after that video, we can state that most of them would have just let her off with a warning had that been the case. But of course, that is not what Shakira decided to do. Instead, she screamed at the cops immediately, demanded that she be allowed to leave, and behaved so erratically that they arrested her, even though they said they would usually let someone off with a warning. Her boyfriend, the man they had been called to apprehend and had already tased, was completely amenable to the officers afterwards, and walked away without any real issue. However, that was just their first interaction. The second came a bit later, when Shakira, who is now working for a food delivery service, would get into a small fender bender. Shakira would hit a car in front of her, and while both cars were still in working order, Shakira would act as if it was the end of the world. She stormed out of her vehicle, and began to berate and curse the other driver that she hit, as if it were their fault. She repeated that her car was now ruined, despite minimal damage being done overall.
Understandable.
She couldn't stop stating that she was going to kill herself due to this annoying but ultimately minor accident.
At least she did not overreact.
Of course, was only made worse when the police arrived and tried to calm her down. If you want to see her full, unabridged reaction, a link will be left in the description box down below to our coverage of that footage, as well as the original uploaders, should you not want to hear our commentary. So, nearly a month ago, the channel Lens of the Law would release a new video on Shakira.
Boy, do I want to hear it.
Titled "Why You Shouldn't Call 911 to Scare Your Boyfriend Again." And to say that we were inundated with emails and comments to cover it would be an understatement. We received over 500 emails in just one day, and we lost track of how many comments came in demanding for the video to be made, which is silly. Again, a link will be left in the description box down below, should you want to watch.
Yeah, this year, by the way, January 17th.
The original video, sans commentary. And I highly encourage you to send support to the original uploader. They procured this footage, captioned it, and they put in a
1 month from a year anniversary
to make this public. Without channels like Lens of the Law, channels like ours would not be able to discuss this footage publicly. So if you like us, please support them. Now, let us begin. This video was brought to you in part by Delete Me.
No.
Crazy. The window is
W
open.
bag though.
My 2-year-old throws out the window like that, and now my feet are wet.
Incredible start. Incredible start, I gotta say.
So this clearly isn't the beginning of the footage, but it's an interesting point nonetheless. Shakira is loudly complaining about her child throwing their own toys out of the window,
Yes,
which is a
dude.
minor inconvenience. It's also an easily solvable problem, as she could just close the window, get a window screen, or tell the child to stop doing it. But
Yes.
she frames this minor problem as being a massive issue, something that is destroying her life and is necessary to complain to the police about.
I also
As an
break down
unbiased
over my
third party,
2-year-old doing
that admission
anything.
is obviously ridiculous and is entirely inappropriate, unless you're hoping that the police will respond by disciplining your child for you or doing routine maintenance on your home. When dealing with any sort of law enforcement, especially the police, you should always be helpful and direct as possible. Your interactions with them should be short, formal, and polite, as they could make your life a lot harder than it has to be. And of course, Shakira should know this, as videos of her interactions with the police have garnered millions of views, and yet she yelps, screeches, and behaves
Which could unfortunately be why she still continues to do this, by the way. Some people think any attention's good attention, so.
erratically. She then draws attention to the fact that now her feet are wet, which is maybe the worst thing to have happened since the Cuban Missile Crisis. She frames every negative or neutral thing in her life as being the worst thing to ever have happened.
Okay.
Every inconvenience, every
That was before 9/11. I see where he stands.
annoyance is something that needs to be remedied as quickly as possible by
What an
everyone
asshole.
else. It's obvious that she feels little to no personal responsibility, even over something like her feet being wet, which would make her a very hard person to be around. Maybe. Chances are high that
Maybe.
you've probably been around somebody like Shakira, although
I'm
maybe not
thinking
as
most
obviously
likely.
outrageous. Someone who makes every issue in their life everyone's communal problem, and rarely, if ever, makes a hard situation easier. Psychologists actually have a name for this tendency to inflate small problems into cataclysms. Catastrophizing. A word
yeah.
here that refers to a cognitive distortion that convinces people that spilled milk isn't just spilled milk.
Also a
It's
very
proof
common
that the
reaction
universe
in
itself
somebody
is
who's
conspiring
immature
against them, and in turn
or
trying to
raised
fuck
in a
them in the
volatile
ass
household.
at astronomical proportions. And goddamn is it astronomical. Catastrophizing amplifies stress, and when performed loudly enough, obligates others to respond. Think of a toddler throwing a tantrum, turning the fact that they aren't
Is it possible that she does these things enough she'll be thrown in prison? God, it would be a tough call. I mean, I would have to see like her full charges. It's kind of it would depend. So it would depend on the charges. Because you know, she could be getting charged with the smallest misdemeanors of all time, or she could be getting charged with big misdemeanors or even small felonies. I do believe the first instance they said that she could serve jail time. It doesn't seem like she did, but you know, with these sorts of things and with any crime, anything like that, there's never like a finite like sentence, right? Everything typically is like this to that long. So it ends up being like up to the judge as well in these scenarios if things go to court, etc. And you know, if this is a repetitive pattern, the judge might feel like she needs to spend time in jail to understand that she needs to stop doing it. So it's theoretically entirely possible that she could serve jail time or has. I don't think I've heard anything in the last two videos that she did. I heard the first one did mention that she could based off of her charges, but I don't think they said if she did or not. I don't think the second one did either. But if due to the repetitive pattern, it could get to that point. Yeah. I don't think it would be for very long initially, but yeah, if this is a repetitive pattern, it could continue to happen and it could become jail time or longer. Yeah,
Being given exactly what
it's a
they
good
want
question.
when they want it into a problem for everyone else. This is just the grown-up version of that. Layered onto that is what's called external locus of control. So instead of
Damn,
thinking,
okay.
I can close the window so my child stops throwing toys outside,
SAT words.
Shakira insists, how could my child do this to me? That motherfucker. Someone needs to come
Damn.
fix this. People with an
Okay,
external
dokes.
locus view themselves as being at the mercy of
Fuck you,
outside
Morgan.
forces. At a deeper level, this behavior can become an identity. Always the victim, always under siege, always one inconvenience away from total collapse.
Yeah, the inflection on that
Some
was supreme.
psychologists
I
might say
agree.
this aligns with histrionic tendencies,
Yeah.
a phrase which here means a personal style built around exaggerated emotions, dramatic storytelling, and an insatiable hunger for attention. In that
Which can cause people to do stuff like lying about everything and doing stuff like making a deal out of everything and exaggerating everything and being dramatic about everything. Basically everything that he's already brought up. So it would make a lot of sense.
The Bay Harbor flabbergaster has struck again.
All right. Okay. Dude, some of my favorite parts of Dexter is just Dokes looking at Morgan and being like, fuck you. They're so good. Dokes' actor was so good at that role, bro. Like, just the genuine vitriol in his deliveries towards Dexter in that show is so good. Like, he played that role amazingly. Like, if you don't have to watch the entirety of Dexter, but watching the entirety of Dexter with Dokes in it, it's very like he does such a good job when he's a part of the show.
world, being calm, competent, and quietly resilient doesn't generate applause. But when you're able to frame absolutely everything that happens to you as a world-ending tragedy, now that gets attention. That's sexy. That says summertime. But we're just 11 seconds into the
What's
video,
happening?
so I'm gonna shut up.
Just relax. No, I just want to leave. Oh, just let me leave.
You got Crocs on though. What do you mean your feet are wet?
I did too. I came downstairs and said to call the. Oh wait! What did I do? Wait! What did I do?
Here we go again.
Wait, why? Wait, why? Wait, but why? No, please.
We're back in the building.
God, are you serious?
On January 17th, 2025, officers responded to reports of a disturbance between a female and her boyfriend at a residence in Wisconsin Rapids. Upon arrival, the female, Kayla, was found outside, uncooperative and
Great picture of
belligerent,
that.
denying any physical altercation and insisting that no law enforcement was needed. What began as a verbal dispute quickly escalated.
I made a mistake of calling the police. I made the mistake of calling the police, and I should not have. So
Interesting.
I know. And he's. Why are we both?
Interesting that she's out the gate saying that, because that's what she should have done in the first place in the first time. So that's interesting. You could argue she's learning. You could argue. I mean, they did say it's in the middle of the footage though, so maybe not.
Why are you both calling? Because it was a mistake. It was
My character
and
developing queen.
I called the call. I called
Grow, Shakira, grow.
And he did as soon as I called 911.
So how Shakira is responding here shows a bit of improvement from the last time she did this very same thing. She greeted the police. She's not screaming. She isn't shaking in rage that they won't leave her alone. Ugh. So if we're grading her solely against
Don't hurt
herself
yourself, King.
and not against the average adult in the same situation, she's doing pretty well. But, and it's a big but, there's the obvious fact that she's now admitted to committing a crime. The same crime she had been previously arrested for. Making any plea of ignorance to the fact is impossible to believe.
Yeah, not a good look.
If you're in a dispute with your partner and you believe that you're in physical danger, it makes sense to call the police. You're being put in a situation or a position where you genuinely believe that you could be physically injured. So you call the police to help remove you safely from the situation. However, based entirely on what she just said, she called the police in order for him to, quote, stop, unquote. She wasn't in any physical danger. He hadn't touched her or levied any threats against her, based on her own testimony. She just wanted him to stop disagreeing with her because she didn't like how the argument made her feel. Unfortunately, when it comes to people who are unable to regulate their emotions like Shakira, this is fairly common.
Me, when the argument is making sense and my cognitive dissonance kicks in, so I call the police.
Think back to the last time you were in a conflict with a friend or a family member. It's not a serious fight.
Me, when I think I might be the asshole, so I call the cops to devolve the argument.
See where you're coming from. Then, midway through that argument, you realize their perspective makes a lot of sense, and that maybe you did overreact.
Oh shit!
Or handle the situation in an immature fashion. Then you realize that you were wrong in the situation.
Hello, police.
That could lead to being uncomfortable. You feel gross about how
my
you
boyfriend's
acted,
making good points and I'm getting scared.
You want to alleviate yourself of all those bad feelings as quickly as possible. As you get older, you quickly learn that apologizing and acknowledging your faults isn't that big of a deal. But for the emotionally immature, it can feel earth-shattering just saying you were wrong. But for someone who struggles with emotional regulation, stop disagreeing with me feels like a perfectly reasonable emergency. It's not that she's physically unsafe. It's that she feels emotionally unsafe. And when you live inside that mindset, emotional discomfort carries the same weight as an actual threat. It's like the brain is confusing, I don't like this.
It can become a habit too. There's people out there who are so attuned and used to this sort of environment that they need it to be occurring. Like they need to be in emotional distress. Or they just are. It's called anxiety.
Second account of 6 months is crazy. I didn't know I was subbed under this one too. You getting money from me times anxiety. 2.
Constantly feeling like something's wrong. And self-making it happen isn't exactly good either.
Feeling with, I'm in mortal danger, so I pull out my katana. No, I'm just kidding. So instead they lash out. And that's what seems to have happened here. Shakira was in a fight with her boyfriend. She began to lose control of the argument.
Where's the katana coming
emotionally
from?
Uncomfortable. And to reassert dominance and get him to stop arguing with her, she called the police. Anything to get out of that awful, poopy, nasty feeling of feeling wrong and uncomfortable. Even if that means wasting tax dollars and dragging authority figures into the middle of a domestic squabble that could have been solved with an apology, so be it. Whatever I'm saying, that's what it takes. Whatever it takes, that's what I'm saying.
You were just yelling at each other. That's it. Okay. And I want to get your lip. What? What's on your lip? My lips are really chapped.
Pausing to note that the officer in this situation is absolutely looking out for Shakira at this moment. It's incredibly common for victims of abuse, men and women alike, to downplay what happened, or even defend the very person who hurt them.
She is really
Sometimes they blame themselves. Sometimes they're afraid of retaliation, and sometimes they just don't want to see someone they love face legal trouble. So an officer has to do more than listen to words. They have to independently observe the situation and verify that the person is safe. In this case, Shakira hasn't been assaulted. Her chapped lips were paying the price of neglect and bad hydration. But the instinct from the officer was spot on. She was making sure Shakira wasn't in any real danger.
Drink your water,
Shakira
dork.
herself wasn't saying so. That kind of vigilance often goes unnoticed. But here, it's a subtle reminder of how sharp police work can be when it's done right. We've seen examples of when the police overlook obvious signs of distress, like in the cases of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. But here, the officer takes time to note small injuries on Shakira in order to make sure she's actually safe.
Did he invent that shit? Because I have a problem with that.
I'm not showing you guys anything. I'm obviously...
Why is she covering her mouth like it's going to be a crime? Hello? What? Dude, this girl has no thought. Why are you covering your lips because you were asked about them? Like, does she think she's in trouble for drugs or some shit?
Okay, is there any weapons on you? No! I'm gonna pat you down for weapons. I have a phone. Okay, I just want to pat you down. I don't have any damn weapons! Can I please just go in my car and leave? I got somewhere to go for the night. Please just let me leave. I'm not telling you anything.
So the semi-calm demeanor that we praised Shakira for earlier only lasted 1 minute and 43 seconds, which is a lot longer than I would have put money on. Again, if we were grading her on a curve, she's done a fantastic job.
It's improvement.
But against the average person, she's still failed miserably.
I was about to say, it's
Once
like,
again,
it's statistically, it's an improvement.
Screaming that she wants to leave and whining like a child throwing a tantrum.
Statistical improvement, for sure.
Screaming as she repeatedly ends on an upward inflection. It's both hard to listen to and endlessly humorous.
Tell me your name at least.
No, I just want to get in my car and leave.
Right, was it Michaela on the blotter?
Kayla, yeah.
Kayla, okay. So you guys got an...
Oh, Clocked.
An argument, and now you want to just be separated from tonight.
And I want to get in my car and I want to go home.
Was he injured at all?
No.
Okay, what were you arguing about?
Anytime you have to deal with law enforcement, whether it's a traffic stop, giving a witness statement, or calling them yourself, the smartest move you can make is to keep things calm and straightforward. Yep. You don't have to be overtly friendly. You don't even have to like them, but you do need to recognize
exaggerations isn't helpful.
They're in a position to make your day either smoother or significantly worse.
Yes.
And antagonizing them is basically begging for the
or worse.
Shakira doesn't seem to grasp this. In her very first encounter with the police that we've seen, she set the tone so badly that her boyfriend ended up being tased, and then she was put in handcuffs, which is wildly unflashy. That should have been the moment to step back and realize that she escalated something
flashy,
unnecessarily, and to make the decision to change how she interacts with law enforcement moving forward at the very least. This situation is almost entirely the same, only this time it's in a home instead of an apartment. With a little bit of composure, she probably could have walked away with little more than a warning. But after less than 2 minutes of a fairly normal conversation, she escalates the situation unnecessarily. When the officers don't immediately fold to her demands and walk away from a potential domestic violence situation without verifying any information, she flips into attack mode. She acts like even the simplest of questions are some sort of personal assault. They ask for basic information.
She's a victim, what can I say? It's truly, I mean, it's true.
Situation. She then twists that into evidence that she's being wronged. It's not that the police are making her life difficult. She's actively volunteering to make it more difficult herself. Your safety in this situation should always be top of mind.
Yeah, straight up saying shit like he's buggy.
Given her actions.
Flashy.
Okay.
So all I can think of when I hear the word flashy is buggy.
To get him to stop yelling at me. Because I knew that if I called you guys and he heard someone on the phone that he would, and he did, and now I want you guys to just leave.
Okay,
I want to get in my car and I want to leave.
What was thrown at us? Something was thrown at us.
I don't know. My kid probably threw something out the window. That's why I asked you. It was a glass.
Yeah, it was. It was glass, I think, and it almost hit us.
Okay, so I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to. Don't throw things at the police, especially not glass, especially not if your stated goal is to make them go away.
Something tells me her 2-year-old didn't throw something out a window. As a person with a 2-year-old, my daughter can barely throw in general. She has her moments, but it's a lot of it's a lot. It's a lot of going, it goes nowhere.
Way. That's like saying I didn't want the attention, so I drop-kicked the principal. The logic obviously doesn't hold up, and it never ends the way you think it will. What it really shows is impulse control, or rather, the complete absence of it. There's no pause, no, maybe I should think about how this will play out. Just pure reaction. It's almost slapstick at this point, as every move she makes to solve a problem creates an even bigger one. The moment she realizes how bad it looks, she pivots. Suddenly, it's not her fault, not her boyfriend's fault. It's just one of those things that happened. A mysterious flying glass object, with no clear origin, that just happened to spawn and shatter near the officers the second they arrived. Her instinct is to deflect, to muddy the waters, to plant suspicion anywhere but on herself. Namely, on her child. Probably because she doesn't think they'll get into any real trouble, because they're under 18. But the fact that she would throw them under the bus indicates that she probably likely isn't a very good parent. Just gonna go out on a limb. The situation is painfully obvious. Her child didn't do it. Children don't normally hurl glassware at armed officers of the law. That leaves exactly 2 adults in the room. One of them is on edge, convinced that the police are aggressors, treating their mere presence as an attack in and of itself. The odds aren't exactly a mystery here. What her boyfriend thinks at this very moment, we can only imagine. Maybe he's just as reckless. Maybe he's horrified. We don't know. But based solely on her actions thus far, it's not outside of her character to throw glass at the police when they respond to her call.
It's really not.
I know, my 2-year-old was... Huh? My 2-year-old throws things out the window and I can't get to him quick enough.
I thought you said he was upstairs.
He was. I live in... Yeah, there's a window
so how
right
would
there.
Your 2-year-old come down the stairs and do that?
No, he was in the window. It flung out the window, ma'am. That's what I'm saying. He took... Right here.
Dude's got to be on a team. Get that guy on the MLB. The Cardinals need a good pitcher.
It's open. My 2-year-old...
We don't got shit for pitching right now. We need him. Sign this dude up.
Throw out out the window like that. And now my
Lock this guy down. We need that. We need that arm. And we're screaming.
No, I just want to leave.
We're screeching.
There comes a time in every person's life when they have to learn that screaming is no longer a respectable or acceptable response to conflict. It never really gets you the result that you want.
So sorry. That took way too long. Sorry about that. My daughter had an apple. She was eating it and asked me to cut it. So I cut it after putting her in her jammies. And then she didn't want it, so now I have an apple. A little something about me. Anyway, let's watch the rest of this shit, bro.
And it will just make you seem like an irresponsible person who lacks the ability to problem solve for themselves. But, as previously noted, Shakira is feeling negative, gross emotions right now. So who fucking cares? She can sense that the police aren't believing her. She is not being given exactly
Shocking.
what she wants, and she'll likely have to deal with the fallout of her own actions, which is what she is hoping to avoid. And in response, she wails like a child. And where does that get her? How does that reaction benefit her? Does it make the police officers more sympathetic to her plight?
Nope.
Is it making them believe her more or less?
Nope.
No. In fact, it does the opposite.
Yup.
Oh, just let me leave. Figure out what's happening.
Brandon, tell them nothing. Tell them nothing, Brandon.
All right, it's the same guy.
I just want to get separated. I want to go to Dom's house.
As we mentioned before, when the police arrive to a home where a
Did he come out
domestic
hands up?
disturbance has supposedly taken place, they're tasked with making observations about what has happened. They're looking over each person who was involved, talking to independent witnesses, and trying to assess if there was an actual incident, and if so, who the aggressor was. And in this lone statement to her boyfriend, it's now become obvious that, if something happened, Shakira was probably the aggressor. She instructs her boyfriend to tell the police nothing except for the fact that she wants to leave, which makes it appear that she has something to hide, and of course she doesn't want them to know.
How this always turns out to be. If something
Very
actually
smart.
happened,
Nothing happened. I'm telling you, nothing happened.
and then
Very
You
smart.
guys are being real. Get away from me. Call your supervisor.
they're
Oh,
Officer.
I'm right
I
here.
can't handle this. I'm telling you.
You need to calm down.
Okay, but I
You
want
need
to
to
go
calm
home.
down.
Officer, I want to go home.
You're home.
Okay,
Gulp.
well, I want to drive away.
Okay, no, we gotta figure out what's going
There's
on.
nothing going on.
There's
I'm
broken
not-
stuff on top of the roof.
Yes, my two. Did you not just hear me?
Your 2-year-old threw out the smoking device for paraphernalia.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
the stuff that's on the roof.
What? I don't know what's on the roof.
Oh god, it just got worse. It just got so much worse. It's really awe-inspiring how every single decision Shakira
She's accusing her 2-year-old of throwing a bong.
is making seems to be the worst possible thing she could have done. First, she calls the police while arguing with her boyfriend, something that she knows will result in them going to the home to assess the situation. Second, she was either doing drugs or had drug paraphernalia in the form of a bong or a pipe, and didn't think about the police searching the home when she called them. Then, in an attempt to hide said
Well, it might be
glass
legal.
pipes or bongs, either she or her boyfriend, or both, decided to throw them out of the fucking window onto the ground or the roof, and then managed
Not
to
likely
almost
if
hit a
that's
police
the
officer
response.
with it. Just classic. That is so functionally stupid it defies understanding. And then she's gone and just put it in a fucking box under the bed. What are you doing? And then she goes on to agitate the officers every single step of the way, ensuring
The genuine anger. What are you doing?
that this problem escalates.
Okay, so if
that's what we're telling you.
if someone threw something out of the roof, it wasn't me, but my 2-year-old throws things out of the roof all the time.
First of all, if her 2-year-old is throwing a bong under the roof, they should probably look into organized sports, because that kid is a natural talent.
That's what I'm
However,
saying,
given
bro.
The fact that that's clearly a lie.
I'm
the very
saying.
concept of blaming
Exactly
your
what I
2-year-old
said.
for throwing your mysterious bong of
Sign
unknown
him up.
origin onto a roof is ridiculous and speaks poorly of her parenting.
That
to say the
baby
least.
has to be Tom Brady.
Okay, well,
Right?
I don't know what's on the roof.
Right?
Brandon, just tell them I want to get separated. separated for the night. No, because
we're not going to yell and scream out here.
I want to get separated for the night.
Scream outside
no, I'm trying to get my story straight, and now he knows.
Okay, yeah, we're not going to get the...
I'm trying to get my story straight.
Again, Shakira needs to think before she speaks, because actively telling the police that you're getting your story straight and telling your potentially victimized partner what to say when they're responding to a domestic disturbance call is exactly what not to do. This feels like a parody and it doesn't feel real.
Why should you have to tell him what to say if your guys' stories should match?
Right.
Brandon explained that the argument began over money when Kayla picked him up from work. The verbal confrontation escalated when they returned home, with Kayla continuing to yell at him, even following him into the bathroom. He stated that while she blocked his exit and yelled relentlessly, there was no physical altercation, but he became increasingly uncomfortable with her behavior, especially with their child present.
Let's pause here, because this part of the story actually deserves some unpacking.
That's not good.
Arguments are stressful. They flood your body with adrenaline and send your brain into fight or flight mode. People tend to avoid them when they can. And when you're caught up in that storm, the smartest thing you can do is step away. It's smart to take a pause and regulate your emotions so that you don't end up saying something cruel or worse, doing something that you can't take back. But when the other person refuses to let you step away, that's where things can get dangerous.
Yeah.
Everyone, of course, has the right to create space for themselves, whether it's a 10-minute walk, locking themselves in the bathroom to breathe, or just sitting in silence. It allows both parties to think for a moment through what is happening.
Yeah, I figure the other commentary is the other channels.
But Shakira doesn't allow her boyfriend to do that by badgering, blocking, and chasing someone down who's trying.
If you guys don't understand this process, he's taking body cam footage uploaded by different channels and providing commentary and context on top of it. Like, I should do this, by the way. This is something I could easily be doing, and I probably should look into this, but there are channels out there on YouTube uploading body cam footage just raw, like just as is, and people like Dreading put in their commentary, their thoughts, and their in the context of said body cam footage. So I should look into doing it. That would be an easy project.
Trying to leave the situation.
Probably not easy, but it would be an easy project for me to get into.
Where am I? What the fuck is she doing? What is she fucking doing? What am I doing? She's keeping the fight alive and escalating it to the point where he would need some kind of intervention. This is where the real danger lies. Arguments aren't inherently catastrophic.
Dreading's having a crisis right now, bro.
When one person refuses to respect boundaries, they create the perfect conditions.
Dreading is having a literal crisis.
Behavior is childish, except unlike a child, she's an adult with real stakes, and she has the capacity to actually hurt the people around her.
I'm trying to go home or leave. I'm trying to leave. Yes, but I'm gonna come back in an hour.
Oh, no.
Such a simple sentence, but that's definitely in the running for the dumbest thing she's ever said.
Yeah.
Okay, and what happens in an hour?
Nothing, because
this argued over a chat. Is that gonna be a conflict? No, he's a liar. Woman to woman, he's a
woman to woman, he's a liar. Being told you have to leave the situation because you're being aggressive and then being like, I'm coming back in an hour, is insane. I mean, it's like she studied what not to tell the police. It's like she watched a video on the worst things to tell the police and thought it was what you're supposed to say and confused the title or something. Because she is arguably saying everything you're really supposed to not say in order to not get arrested. And she's just getting like ultra arrested. It's actually crazy to me.
liar. He's a liar. He's a liar.
All right, Kayla, so the neighbors heard the disturbance and
we're shrieking.
Brandon came and told the neighbors to call.
I did too. I did too. I did too. I came downstairs and said to call the car. Oh, wait, what did I do? Wait, what did I do?
Oh, here we go again.
I've been watching this footage for over 6 minutes now, and I'm keeping a tally for all the reasons Shakira could have been arrested.
Yep.
There's the blatant misuse of law enforcement, as she admitted to calling the police to end an argument. There's the potential battery and assault charge for throwing glass at the officers. Then there's the drug paraphernalia that was thrown onto the roof and more. From their conversation alone, she could have been arrested for over a dozen things, which she readily admitted to. But in Shakira's mind, Because everything she has said and done has been justified, she's innocent. She's done nothing wrong, and she's being unfairly penalized.
Well, if it
Yeah.
isn't the consequences of my own actions.
Wait, why?
The
Wait,
world's
why?
really out to
No,
get her.
please. Oh my God, are you serious? Please, no, wait, why disorderly? I didn't do
Why
anything.
disorderly?
No, no, that's not true. No, tell Brandon that's a lie. Brandon, that's a lie. Oh my God. Oh no. Please, no.
Wait. Oh.
Lie.
Bro, I thought her
my
shirt
God.
said trilogy on it. I was like, wow, how ironic.
Please, no.
It says
Please,
herbology.
God, no. Is it this one? Yeah. Wait, but I didn't do it, but Brandon! But I'm not lying.
I'm not being disorderly, guys. I'm just screaming in my neighborhood at 7:48 at night.
Hey, wait. I'm gonna take out. Where's your cell phone? No, right in my bra, but why am I getting arrested? No, guys, that's not true. Guys, please. Please.
I'm surprised we don't have to go to work.
But what did Brandon say? Please help me. Please just discuss. Please talk to me. Please talk to me. What's going on? No, but why am I didn't do anything. Why am I getting arrested for no reason?
I feel like I'm getting so much deja vu right now. It's literally almost the exact same problem.
But what am I doing?
It's the exact same scenario.
Please. What did I do? But what am I getting arrested for? I'll be right with you. Okay?
It's literally the exact same thing.
Can you please talk to the neighbors? They'll tell you.
Is she
that
gonna
this
say to roll
wasn't
the
me.
window down?
Please. Please talk to the neighbors. No, please. Okay. Officer, can I please talk to you? But why? I don't understand why I'm getting arrested.
So the neighbors called, okay, which is causing a disturbance, and at that point it's out of our hands since it's a domestic relationship between you two.
But it's not. But why isn't he getting arrested?
Oh, my left
There's
ear is
something
loving
absurdly
that.
childish about how Shakira sees the world, and we've established that a couple of times already.
It's
And now
actually
she's arguing that
fascinating.
It's patently unfair that she's the only one getting arrested, even though she's confirmed that there is a child present in the home. Even if she feels like her arrest is unjustified and unfair, she is now arguing that her 2-year-old should be taken out of the home and placed into the care of Child Protective Services, because she wants her boyfriend arrested as well.
Which is what she
That's
was
beyond selfish.
Which she was worried about happening in the first scenario, by the way. Her first run-in with the cops, she was freaking out over the idea that her child was going to go to CPS. And now she's saying to take him there.
They are still. I can't tell you what they're doing right now. I am with you solely right now. I don't know what.
Are they arresting? But if Brandon if Brandon says there's nothing wrong, is there a chance I won't get arrested?
No.
Why?
Because at this point it's out of our hands.
But can you talk to the neighbor? I'm friends with the neighbors. He'll tell me
I'm
that
sure.
there wasn't a disturbance.
Oh, I'm sure you're
Shakira
friends.
doesn't seem to understand how her actions affect others, and therefore doesn't understand how other people perceive her. From what the responding officers have said, she was not the only one to have called 911 this night. Her neighbor, who she swears now is her friend and would never speak ill of her, also called for their assistance, saying that Brandon, her boyfriend, claimed that Shakira hit him. Similarly, they told the police about her screaming for hours, and they have independently witnessed her yelling outside since the police have been there. Shakira doesn't seem to be able to process any of that, or how her aggressive actions have led to her neighbor no longer liking or respecting her. Whatever friendship she had with this
Hours
neighbor
is crazy.
would likely have been eroded considerably by this event. But she doesn't see that, because all of this is happening to her. She
Yes.
is the obvious victim.
Yes.
Therefore, she couldn't have done
Yes.
anything wrong.
I went
My
downstairs,
supportive
I asked
king.
him if he could come and help. Oh
Jail Kayla 50.
Oh.
no! Okay, wait. Can you leave it with Brandon? Please. Can you please just give my phone to Brandon? I don't have any other way to contact him. So I'm not going to be able to see the judge till Monday? Or am I, can you please explain to me what's going on?
You are going to have to see a judge, okay?
On Monday?
Most likely.
Well, there's no court during the weekends, right?
Correct.
So it's got to be Monday at least.
I don't like promising people one way or another, but most likely it'll be Monday.
I'm on probation. Do you think I'm gonna go to jail or prison?
I have no idea.
I can't afford, officer.
Imagine being a
I'm
neighbor
so
being like, babe,
screwed
come see this shit era flabbergasted is getting arrested again.
Yep, it's her again, babe. Yep. No, I'm filming. Yeah, I got the whole thing. Don't worry.
All over an argument. The neighbors didn't have to get involved. It wasn't even about that.
What do you mean, girl?
I just asked them for help because we're friends.
Again, she displays an absolute lack of personal responsibility in this situation. Now that she knows that the police were called by her neighbors, she blames them for the cops' involvement. She has seemingly forgotten that she also called the cops and asked them to come to the home because of the argument she had gotten into with her boyfriend. Once another version of events was provided for her, she just jumped ship to that one where she could shirk any responsibility and just jumped for it.
Are you going to cooperate with jail staff and everything?
No.
You're not going to?
Why?
Shakira just said that she can't afford to be arrested again, that she's on
Like,
probation,
dude.
and that the situation is upending aspects
What are
of
you
her
doing?
life. She's already going to be facing some sort of consequence.
what?
That much is obvious. But she still has the opportunity to turn some of these things around for herself. But she actively and purposely chooses to make things harder. She
What?
says that she's
Not
not
even-
going to comply
doesn't
with
even
jail.
lie.
Come get
She's
your
actively
Shakira
going to go
bingo
out of her
sheet.
way to disobey
If she
them
says she
and make their lives harder,
Like, not
which only
even-
makes her life more difficult in the process.
Didn't even just say no and not mean it. Just straight, or say yes and not mean it. Just straight up said no.
They're gonna put me in solitary?
Probably.
I wouldn't want you to get any more like resisting charges.
I'm not getting a resisting if I just don't talk.
I mean, are you gonna physically?
No, no.
Continues
I'm
to
gonna go
talk.
prison anyway for the next 90 days because of this.
Yeah, probably.
I'm royally screwed.
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna go to jail.
Do you remember the person who asked if she could actually go to jail for all this? And I said, yeah, well, if she continues to repeat and not learn from the mistakes, it could probably get down to that.
Lose my apartment.
Here we are. Especially if she's on probation. You know what isn't a good thing to do? Okay. All right, guys, let's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Who wants to guess something you shouldn't do while on probation? It's a thinker, I know. Yeah. Crime. You probably shouldn't do more crime. Because all that's going to do is make more jail.
Phone call.
Or jail in general.
How long is it gonna take for you to be able to drop my phone back off to Brandon?
He ain't doing that.
I can leave straight from.
Because
He
that's
is-
the only way I'm gonna be able to call him is on my phone.
He
I
is
don't know
not
any
doing
other
that.
Number. So as soon as you drop me off, are you gonna go straight back to my house and give him the phone?
He ain't doing that.
We'll see what we do with the phone.
Yeah,
So I got arrested because the neighbor said something?
no.
At this moment, right now, it's disorderly conduct with a domestic modifier. Okay.
Because the neighbor said something?
No.
That's the disorderly conduct part is causing a disturbance, and the domestic is because of your relationship with Brandon. Okay. At that point, the state says that we must arrest the predominant aggressor. Okay.
Which
so we can't just walk.
shockingly
away
is her.
Why am I the predominant aggressor?
Beats me, girl.
Shakira is once again trying to push all of the blame for her arrest onto her neighbor. It's not that she called the cops, she threw drug paraphernalia out of the home, or that she was screaming at the police in the middle of the night and disturbing the peace. It's because her neighbor said something. They are the person in the wrong in her eyes. And it becomes clear that if the officer agreed that they solely responded and arrested her due to the neighbor's influence, that neighbor would likely become a target.
I wasn't the
Yes.
officer that talked to Brandon, okay?
The police cannot tell
That
who
is
tell the
100%
person.
his call.
Weirdly enough, the police cannot tell the suspect who snitched on them. Doesn't exactly mean that, doesn't exactly ensure much safety for the person who told on them.
Are you?
We're squeaking. Her pipe.
Is that your birthday?
She's got a squeaky wheel.
No.
I'm sure. It took 10 seconds.
I'm gonna go to jail for 90 days. Oh my god.
It's crazy that she knows the specific number, by the way. Clearly that has been put in her head and she's decided that it doesn't matter anyway, in some regard. Like, clearly she's understanding that if she is a problem while on probation, she might have to apparently serve 90 days in jail. She clearly has some level of understanding that that might be an issue or a consequence. That's the craziest part to me, is it's like she can fully grasp that there are actual consequences to her getting in trouble here and in the past, but she just like does it anyway. That's the crazy part about this stuff to me, is she has some understanding here that I'm getting arrested and I'm still on probation. So I'm going to go to that jail time they told me about when I got put on probation, which could be a 90-day sentence or more potentially based off of what she's saying. She clearly knows to not do what she did. That's what doesn't help her. Like, it's a very small thing, but her sitting here talking about that is not good for her at all, because it's sharing complete understanding of her actions and the consequences they can give.
Can I make a phone call when I go in there, or do I have to like beg someone in my pod to let me use their phone?
Brandon's probably losing his fucking mind.
If they'll let you use the booking desk phone up there, okay?
I mean, not that Brandon is much of a treat either. Bro came out with his fists up in the first one.
I'm gonna end up having to spin here, and I don't want to.
You'll go to court and a judge will determine what is going to happen and what your bond amount will be, okay?
Why are we spitting?
Your bond amount.
Isn't there a possibility I could be going with personal cognizance?
That would be determined at a later date, at like a preliminary hearing.
No, I don't think Monday. Like when I talk to the judge. Like could they let me go on Monday morning?
There's a possibility you could get a SIG bond. I can't promise you one way or another.
How do I talk to my probation officer because it's the weekend?
I'm sure they'll find out. Did you unbuckle yourself?
Yes, it's very easy.
I'd recommend.
I'm not asking you, please. I don't want to be rude. Just listen up.
Like, what are you doing? Why, yes, officer, I did unbuckle myself while you were driving, while I was under arrest in your police car. Yeah, I actually did free myself while I was under arrest. It's actually easy. It is like impressive how fucking stupid she's being. It's impressive. Like I keep saying, it's like she's read and memorized every single way to get in more trouble while being arrested. Like, you cannot be serious.
Just bring me inside.
pausing to state that saying, "I'm not trying to be rude," doesn't absolve you from being rude.
Yeah.
If anything, it might make it worse.
Yeah.
Because you understand that you are being rude.
Yeah.
And you're drawing attention to how annoying you're being.
Yeah.
And you're now expecting everyone to overlook that fact for some reason.
Because you acknowledged it, which doesn't make sense.
Bring me inside, damn it, before I get mad at me.
Great. Yep. Good call.
Then do your job, please. She's not. I got searched 3 times before I got in the cruiser, bro. Are you serious? I don't have anything. I don't have anything. Oh, here comes Miss Piggy running around the corner.
If you're trying to maintain that you've done nothing wrong, calling another
Damn. This cop's just opening the door and she got a fucking stray bullet.
officer Miss Piggy and trying to make a comment about their weight is not going to
Poor
help
girl's
the
just
argument.
chilling.
It's
She's just
also going
opening
to
the fucking
justify
door.
Other people making obvious and disparaging comments about your own appearance, which is objectively bad.
Sorry, wait.
Also, like, are we just aren't we like objectively aren't we like very similar in terms of build here? Am I just seeing something wrong? Like, we look pretty similar here. As a big back myself, as a 300-pound man, if she's Miss Piggy, all 3 of us are in the pen together. That's all I'm saying. Like, respectively. Because she's really not, first of all. She's not. That woman looks fine. Just ridiculous. It's ridiculous that she's so similar in build and saying that.
Comments about your own appearance, which is objectively bad.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she meant pig as in like cop pig, but I don't know. Maybe it was like a double joke. I don't know. Not even that funny. It's kind of stupid.
Sorry, wait.
Whoa, peep the background. Hold on, wallpaper check. Is that fucking Pikachu? It's Pikachu, a Furby. Is this a 90s, like 90s nostalgia? There's a ring pop. I think that's supposed to be a gummy bear or like a Build-A-Bear. Is that an Among Us? Oh, bogus.
Sorry, wait.
Is that Psyduck? No, bro, this is not a Pokemon wallpaper. Oh, it's oh fuck, what are these things called? The robot dogs. We had one. The iDog? Really? Pikachu, Ring Pop, Furby, iDog. What is this? This looks like Psyduck, but also like a parrot. So I'm not certain. I can't get a good look at that one. No, that's definitely Pikachu. You can see the red cheeks. Whatever. Oh wait, hold on. That was a good shot of the thing in the bottom left. Oh, TikTok notif. Wait, maybe not. Might be. Hold on, guys. I'm getting to the bottom of this. Yeah, move your big ass thumb, bro. I'm trying to be weird. What that? Oh, I guess that shirt she's wearing is Harry Potter, isn't it? Yeah, what if this was like a stream notif for me, bro? Imagine one day we're watching this shit and they pull up a phone and they're my fucking going live notifications right there. That would be crazy.
I literally am not. I just need to use the phone. I need to.
That would be unreal.
And I need to use the phone. Cooperate. I want to cooperate.
You are not.
I just need to use the phone. I need to. I'm not yelling. I'm just loud. I'm not.
We have to go through the booking process, and then we can get numbers once we get everything done, okay?
I think we might be yelling.
You look familiar, yes?
I can't believe this man has got me in jail again. What the do I have to do to get some peace in this world?
What makes Shakira's worldview
Classic
so unnerving
Brandon.
is that she genuinely
Classic
believes
Brandon.
that she's done nothing wrong. We can sit back and shake our heads, even laugh at the absurdity of her behavior. But for her, this is
Classic
probably
Brandon.
just how things should be going. And that's where the danger lies. In her mind, she is the one being harassed, singled out, exploited. She sees the police as
Classic
villains who
Brandon
keep
getting her in
sporadically
trouble,
showing up
dude.
to ruin her life. Never mind that every piece of footage shows the opposite. It shows officers who remain patient, fair, and often bend over backwards to calm her down. But to her, that doesn't matter. She's already decided that she's the ultimate victim, and nothing can convince her otherwise. This kind of thinking is toxic because it flips morality on its head.
Well, it also, once again, it creates this like moral structure and dilemma of like this person screaming like she's 4 and basically makes people psychologically feel like they need to be a parent. So she automatically makes these people psychologically step up for her because she is completely uncooperative to the fact that she needs to be an adult. So she goes low, so they have to go high. And that is not only an extremely selfish behavior, it's a completely immature behavior. And it's a deliberate one. 4-year-olds might do that because they don't fucking understand. They're mad. They're upset. They don't know why. Somebody her age is clearly able to understand. So there's no excuse. You guys found the wallpaper. My God. Where did you post it somewhere? Where did you put it? You put it in media. Where the fuck is the media tab? There it is. Oh my God, bro. Damn, that's a fat Pikachu. Look at that boy. Damn. Oh, I remember these things, the little bears you could draw on. Yeah, literally, this is like a millennial 90s core nostalgia wallpaper. That's crazy. Unreal.
She truly believes that everything she's done is legal, justified, and fair, then it doesn't matter how destructive her behavior becomes. She'll always find a way to rationalize it. And when someone can't see themselves as the aggressor, even while actively being the aggressor, that's when abuse becomes frighteningly easy to excuse.
I knew this officer was cool. Guys, I'm pretty sure that's Shakira's phone.
This man has abused me for 3 years. 3 years. And I'm the one that's the aggressor. That's not fair.
I'm sure.
Of course I'm aggressive. You can only get abused so many damn times for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be able to I just want to call him. That's all I want.
I hate him, but I need to call him.
I just want to call him.
Right.
I just want to call him. I didn't even get to say goodbye to my baby. I didn't even get a chance to kiss him. I'm going to be gone for 90 days.
Maybe you shouldn't have called the police for no reason.
I'm going to be gone for 90 days. Brandon just found a job. He's not going to be able to go in Monday. I have 90 days holding over my head for this probation.
Probably should have thought of that. Probably should have thought
After
of that.
Kayla was arrested, she continued to display disruptive behavior.
I can't believe
Despite
it.
her attempts to leave the scene, she was taken into custody and was transported to the local county jail. Here, Kayla faced one misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct. The charge was dismissed, but it was read into the record. Additionally, the charge was noted as a repeater offense due to her prior
Dismissed.
convictions.
Wow.
No further penalties were imposed, and the case was resolved without additional charges or fines.
Lucky for her.
And that is where the video ends. Shakira is someone who at times can be humorous to observe, but the sad reality is that she truly poses a threat to almost everybody she comes into contact with, especially her children. But if you've made it to this portion in the video, thank you for watching. If there's a video or a topic you would like us to cover, let me know by leaving a comment or emailing us at dreading.official@gmail.com. Remember, have a great day and stay safe.
That's crazy, dude. I mean, wow. To be fair, funny enough, that was the most tame of the three. But given the fact that she got away with it, basically, is probably going to mean we might see Shakira again. I have a feeling we might see Shakira again at some point.